There you go. I think it worked better than what I expected with the intro and everything. Uh, all right, hi everybody. How's everybody doing? Welcome to the first episode of this series of the King's Cave 80s podcast live. I don't know, but thank you everybody for tuning in. And I just want to welcome and Anthony. We had to kick it off like big and who else or who better than Anthony from Froggy Flips. Thank you, brother. Thank you for giving us your time.
Of course, man. Thank you for inviting me.
Nah, yeah,
Absolutely.
of course, a privilege, a privilege. All right, so let's dig in and just start kicking it, man. Like I said, well, I appreciate your time. Thank you for everything. We've been chatting for quite a while now,
Hmm.
Anthony and I, and we came to a series of trades, right? So, and that's kind of like the big topic, the topic that we want to talk about, the trades and trading in the collecting world. But before we go into there, I don't think like there's anybody in here that doesn't know you. But if there's anyone that probably doesn't know you, how would you introduce yourself? What do you do? How do how would you present yourself?
My name's Anthony. I have a YouTube channel called Froggy Flips. I I like vintage toys and pop culture collectibles. Have some really similar tastes to you, obviously. Um, weird, weird, odd stuff, high end, hard to find, graily type pieces, or what I'm always after. But I mean, a little bit of everything from the '70s, '80s, '90s, and I go out looking for it, and then I keep most of it. I sell some. I trade some, obviously, and there's a there's a whole world of this stuff out there, and I just like getting out there to find it.
Oh man, you touch a lot of nice topics that I will dig in and I would like to talk about, but I feel like that has to be for a little bit later. We're gonna talk about the trading. You mentioned trading, and that's kind of like the topic of today, right? So well, well, first of all, I'm just trying to give a little bit of a backstory, to the people that doesn't know what we've done, as far as trading.
Uh,
uh I sometimes make the mistake of assume that people know what we've done, just because we put it out there on social media. But let's recap a little bit, right? So Anthony and I would just start chatting casually. Like, I started following him. I like his, his content from his YouTube, his Instagram. Then, he followed me back, and then we start like a line of conversation. Uh, very sporadic, but very nice, very formal. And there's a lot of videos that you put out there where you find like great stuff, right? So things that I always, left me baffled, and I wanted them, right? And but it always stuck in my head, that one, the my pet monster sketches that you found.
mm. Well, kind of found
uh
got
oh well, God, I don't
yeah
know, I don't know what out for, exactly, that's
acquired.
where I was going
Yeah.
to. How do you find them first? Because that got my interest, and that's how I started, proposing the first trade. How do you find those type of thing, or the things find you? How does that
Uh,
work, man?
it's definitely a little bit of both. As far as those go, it was a guy reached out to me, um, just kind of out of nowhere, kind of explained that a friend of his or something had gone into the old Am Toy warehouse before they wiped everything out, and was able to rescue some stuff. Kind of like sent me a bunch of pictures of things that he no longer had or never had, but that were rescued, like Madball's molds and stuff like that. Which, like, my jaw just dropped seeing that. Um, but then he told me that he had three of these concept sketches from early My Pet Monster, Sent pictures of all of them. Again, my jaw dropped. Said that he would be willing to let those go. So imme- immediately, like my mind goes to, well, that's going to be 20K. Like I can't buy that. Came back with a really reasonable offer. I was like, yep, do it. Like 3 days later, they were at my doorstep. So that was one that found me for sure.
That's that's hey, I've always, and sometimes we think on this type of stuff as sometimes the grass is greener on the neighbors,
Hmm.
because I always see whatever you find and stuff that you get, and I'm like, oh man, I wish people would reach out to me, and I wish and I wish, but I sometimes look back, I'm like, that's how I got the cats from Muscle Mutts, really.
Hmm.
Like a guy reaching out to me saying that he also collected, muscle mods and stuff like that. And and then all of a sudden he sent me pictures of the cats. Well, anyways, it's a long story, but on rare occasions it had happened to me. So and it's pretty magical. I like when that happens, but you always have to be ready either to put a good chunk of money, or give out something that you really like from your collection, and that's what we're talking about, right? The trade. So moving forward, I see this piece. I decided that I wanted to go to your show, yours and team show,
Hmm.
the Hoosier Collecticon, and I was like, I'll be there. you know I want that piece. I have some stuff that he might like. Let me shoot him a message. uh I don't know, whether you want to let it go or willing to trade. Hey, but it surprised me how smooth, or honestly, for the big and the size of that trade, at that point to me it was like, oh man, like it was
Yeah.
pretty smooth. But what's
Remember, like
happening over there?
yeah,
Huh?
like the message was really dramatic. It was like,
I
"Hey man,
like
I
that.
really want to ask you something, but I'm scared." I was like, "Oh no, what is this?" Yeah.
I remember, yeah, I was like, I don't know if you want to let go or be willing to or trying to. Like, I like to be dramatic like that. I don't know why. I grew up like that. But then, like, if you're like, I saw you have, the my pet monster sketches, but this is where I got, and I sent you a picture of all the stuff that I have from Muscle Mud. Why would you like? Is that something that you were looking for, or just also, hey, uh, let's just jump into it, or what goes through your mind when when offer a trade?
Well, like that one specifically, like, so I mean, I didn't really know you at the time, and I kind of just saw you as like the muscle nut guy, like like I knew that you had some of these pieces, and I figured that they were one of a kind, super rare. Like I would never acquire any of that stuff. So like it was like I had you up on this pedestal. So then like when you proposed a trade, it started with you asking about the My Pet Monster, and I was like, well, I don't really want to trade those because I love those. And then like as I went further down and saw what you were offering, I was like, wow, like I may actually have a chance to acquire some of this stuff. And so I mean, it was just kind of on, like like that stuff that I knew existed because of you, but I never thought I had a chance at that.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It'll just plays differently. It's just funny how when a trade goes down, or is kind of like you're trying to find a middle ground for both. It's funny how you well I'm talking about my experience, and for what I gathered, like it's just my experience. I was like so nervous, right? Especially going down there, because the first proposition sounded like, all right, so we're going to ship, or mail each other stuff. But then I mentioned, hey, you don't have to pick, because I show you like a bunch of stuff, but
Just
I
a bunch
like,
of
you don't
pictures.
have to you don't have to choose right now. I can go down there. I'll be there at the show, at your show, and you can choose and pick, right? So, and you were, I like the what you think, cool, that's great. But then my stomach was like, oh my god, like, because I know what I'm getting, like I know what I'm after, but I don't
Hmm.
know what he's
You know
going
what
to
you're losing.
want. And what, yeah, exactly. So the whole trip, I was like, my head was like spinning, picturing scenarios, like, what is he gonna pick if he picks too much, or if he's like, and how do you price all of this? Like I was so nervous to see what you were gonna get.
Well, like
Uh,
you put a couple things off limits though, so I mean that was good of you. Like you're like, I want to show you this, but I'm not giving this away. So I mean, like I could tell that you had your limits. It wasn't like a free for all or anything.
yeah, it was. I don't know. And some of the stuff that I brought, I knew I wanted to keep one piece and one piece only.
Hmm.
And I showed you it was the I casually have it here, right? So this is the one that I wanted to keep.
Right.
The drooling draw the drawings of the first idea of the Muslim ones. I knew I wanted to keep that, but I also wanted to show you. I don't know if that's, I don't know, silly or I don't know.
Oh no, that was awesome
But
to
on the
see.
way there, I was like, oh man. And once I start pulling, they're like, oh, I think I want to keep this and I want to keep this. So I kept a few other stuff. But overall, first of all, what was going through your mind? Like, is there anything else? Like, what were you thinking about when you were looking at all the stuff? Like, because making a decision on the spot, I don't know. I figure it's hard to.
It was really hard. I remember that day, and like you were going through everything, kind of like mostly piece by piece, explaining what it was. I know that my mind wasn't catching everything because I mean, like even after the fact, like weeks after, I was still texting you questions about like certain pieces that like I even owned at that point. But like I definitely wasn't catching all the details. I was just trying to make a mental list as you were laying stuff down about like that one seems really cool. That one seems really cool. So like maybe that one. And like there were a couple that were like that's neat, but I don't really need that one maybe. And so just ended up making like a pile of 3 pieces, which I didn't know if that was too much or like because I mean like what's the value of this stuff? Who knows? Uh so yeah, that's kind of where my mind was. It was just chaos and confusion for like 20 minutes.
Yeah. Well, first, 99% of the people that knows me, they say that I talk a lot, right? So,
Oh, it wasn't like that though. Yeah.
no, hey, but let me tell you why. Because one of my friends, the one that was filming the video, for my end, he was like, "Man, you talked a lot. You didn't let him speak too much, especially for the video, for the content." I'm like, man, honestly, I wasn't thinking about the content. I wasn't thinking about the video. I just wanted to make sure that you knew exactly all the information that I had about each piece, so you
Hmm.
could make, a better, wiser, or whatever decision that you wanted to make. So I don't want to mislead you in any way or anything like that. Uh, but that was the reason why I was trying to, talk through every single item. Um, and yeah, when you choose that one, of course it hurts, because it's stuff that you never thought you were gonna let go.
Right.
And probably you already, even though it hurts for you to let that piece go, you feel like you kind of like knew that probably that's the one that you wanted to let go. But for me, I didn't know what was going to be the trade.
Hmm.
So I kind of hesitated on the video. I cut it out because it took me a while to say yes, and I cut it. I didn't want to seem like
You're thinking about it, yeah.
that I didn't want it. But to me, the moment that everything, all of that went away, is when I picked up the sketch. I was like, in that moment, I was like, let me just stop looking at the stuff that I'm giving away and let me see what I'm getting. I feel like that shift like in a split of a second. Once
Hmm.
I picked the one that I was getting, I was like, oh yeah, I'm good. I'm
Yeah.
super, super good. Like with that. So and that goes kind of like to my question, subject, topic, whatever you want to call it. After the trade was done, even you posted on social media, I posted on my YouTube, you posted on Instagram, I posted on my YouTube, and there was people debating, and I like how people like to be entitled on the reasons, or why, who win or who loses, right?
Uh,
Did you read any of those? What do you
uh,
think about people saying you lose your win?
I don't know if I got that far into comments because there was a lot. Saw a bunch of like flame emojis and stuff, so it seemed like a lot of people thought it was pretty good. I think. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I didn't. I
You
don't. I
didn't
don't
you
think I
didn't get
noticed many of the other ones.
I did see like 2 or 3 on your YouTube and a few on my Instagram. No,
Hmm.
vice versa, on your Instagram and a few on my YouTube. A few of them saying that I got ripped off, and then a few saying that you got ripped off. And I try to answer as many as I can. Like, man, the trade is about both parties living happy or being happy with the stuff that they got, right?
Yeah.
Like, because how do you price some of this stuff? Like, how would you consider, like, what will be, in your mind, just when you cannot put a price on stuff like this? Like, how do you even choose what you picked on that day?
I mean, that was the hardest part. Um, so like I think of what I picked. There was the one main piece, right? Like the Bible.
Hmm.
That's like
Yeah,
the piece, and like
that's
the other ones were
yeah,
kind
the
of
one that hurt.
yeah. um, I mean, I think you sold it like you were like this is kind of the everything. And I was like, well, I kind of want the everything then. So I mean, like you
No,
didn't
yeah.
sugarcoat it or anything. So
No, hey, again, I wanted to present that, and honestly, and I got some, quote unquote advices that I didn't like that much prior going to the, like, no, you have to value your stuff, and you have to not give anything away. That was probably, make sure this is worth this much and this is worth this that much. I'm like, so, and that could just kept playing on my head. I'm like, hey, like, honestly, as like, to me, it went down to, I'm happy with what I'm getting and I'm happy with what I'm letting go. Honestly, I didn't even try to put a price on stuff, because if you do on this type of trades, because then we did another trade where we were like completely different.
mhm.
But just to kind of like finish with this one, it's stuff that you don't know the price. I don't know the price. Who knows the price? What is the the base? Where we
Yeah, I
go
mean,
from as far as prices.
it's not like we're trading a Cobra Commander for a for a He-Man figure or something like that.
Mhm.
Like, like things that you can comp out and see like what the market is and everything. This is stuff that we acquired, however we acquired it, and it's worth whatever it's worth. And I mean, who knows what that is? Like, you put it in front of two guys that both want it and they're both making offers, then like maybe you could kind of see a value there. But otherwise, it's what's it mean to you, and then
Yeah,
like what's this piece mean to you?
exactly.
I don't know.
Yeah, and how much happiness is gonna bring to you, right?
Right, exactly.
Um, what would you say that you like better or you enjoy better as far as interaction goes? Buying at a flea market, at a toy show, at a like, or a trade, whether it's yeah, mail or in person. Like, would you prefer trading or buying?
Depends on what it is. Like I really like to trade, so but I like to buy stuff to have to trade too.
Gotcha.
But like I enjoy happening up on stuff randomly, which so I mean that usually entails buying stuff. So like you go to a flea market, you have no clue what you're going to find there. And it's not
Gotcha.
like you're just going to like carry around like a big suitcase like full of trade stuff. So you're gonna have to buy it. But like so I would say that is my favorite, just like the random stuff that you come upon that you don't wake up that morning knowing that like you're gonna find that. So
Gotcha. Hey, but last few videos, you mentioned something about the you put it out there for the universe, and then you found it, right? So you never
sure.
know what you're gonna find, but then you do. Uh, so sorry, hold on, just give me one quick second, real quick. Huh? Just want to make sure, because I didn't. Oh, yes, yes, yes. We are live. I didn't take the time to make sure that we were live. I know about everybody. Thank you everybody for making the comments and all of that. I appreciate that. You just want to try to take advantage. I literally just remembered to check if we were live or not, but we are. Okay. So
It looks
okay,
like it is. It's
yeah, it
all
looks like it.
practice.
Yes. All right. All right, so yeah, the trading. I was recently, started more liking more the trading. As an, I'll say newer collector, not so new, but newer. I'll say like I've been collecting for about 4 years now. It was a rampage in the beginning. Like I was just buying, 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 and most of it was via eBay or online because what I do for work, I usually work during the weekend, so hard for me to go to those shows. Um, but after a while, I kind of like started like tasting the goods of the benefits of trading.
Hmm.
Um, so moving forward, we've done three trades in total, right?
Hmm. Three.
First one kind of like broke the ice, but it was big. It was a big kick in the door. Second one was a little bit more of a. I was just gathering stuff to maybe put it at your show. At this point, I didn't know if it was gonna be a vendor or not,
Hmm.
but I was still getting ready. And then I show you a picture. Hey man, like look, I have this stuff just in case that you're this one. This time I didn't want anything specific from you. I was like, I was bored. I show you a picture
Yeah,
with
I mean that was
with
cool. Like that was more of just like I would call it a high end trade, but it wasn't things that we were attached to. So
yeah.
it was like easy to let go, and it was fun to get the stuff, and like there was
Yes.
no like weirdness or like awkwardness or anything. It was like, well, this is worth this much. This is worth this much. Deal.
Yes, exactly. That was a lot easier
Yeah.
as far as pricing and finding a good match because you know what you had. I knew what I had, and honestly, I thought you were gonna pick one piece or two, but you said like, I like that one. I like that one. I like that one. I'm like, all right, let me see
uh,
what you got. Like honestly, and then I thought maybe I don't know because last time I was there, you didn't want to let go a lot of stuff for your collection. I was like, that's cool. Like I don't know if it's gonna. And then we ended up taking stuff from your end. I'm like, oh my god! Like I went over the budget on your stuff. Like let me take this out. You came out with a lot of good stuff, and that was a big trade. I like that one. It was a lot easier, and it felt like Christmas, man. Like when I got that box, it
mhm.
was like one right after the other, and I was like, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Um, you finally got into Tiger Sharks?
Got one right over, right there over my shoulder, right there, right in the
Yeah.
background.
What was your favorite piece from that lot?
Probably, I would say either that or the Dino Saucer because
Mhm.
the Dino Saucer was all I ever wanted was just one Dino Saucer, and I think that kind of greased the wheel for what was to come. I think because
Hey,
it's all I wanted as far as that goes.
okay. I'm gonna leave that question for later,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
but I had that in mind. But um, before that, you said the same thing about muscle mods, right? So when you purchased the first muscle mod, and I
Right.
I, I clearly remember because I watch your content frequently, and then the first time they pick a muscle mod, I was like, hey, cool, he got a
Uh,
muscle mod, right? As a and then I remember you mentioned like, oh, but this is the only one that I got. I was like, all right, that's cool, but he at least got one. He got the
hmm.
taste of it, and then boom, all of a sudden, craziness. What happened
Yeah.
there with muscle mods, man?
Muscle mutts like so the difference is, I guess, as far as like Dino Saucers go, like one, that's all I ever wanted. I got it, and I feel good with that. Like I'm not looking for more or anything. Now I'm not saying like if I went to a garage sale and there was like a Dino Saucer for $20, yeah, I'm probably gonna buy that. But like I'm not like looking for one. Muscle mutts, I didn't think I'd be able to find more because it took a long time to find that one. So it's like I got one, I'm happy, but in the back of my mind, I would like some more. Um,
Gotcha. Gotcha. It feels weird, once you bring in or once you have something in, all of a sudden you start seeing it everywhere.
mhm,
I'm not sure if everywhere is where you see muscle mutts, but you definitely start like seeing it more frequently. Is
sure.
it because you put it out there and then people start bringing you stuff, or you really think that just most of it, came out, uh,
Uh,
uh, casually?
yeah, I mean, it raises awareness, I guess, for a lot of different things, um, and yeah, I mean, like as far as I go, you mean? It's like um people definitely try to maybe bring stuff that would appeal to me. Um
Hmm.
but also at the same time, a bunch of people watch the videos and they might not be aware of something. So just because I might not need another one, there's going to be other people looking for that now too. I mean, I'm not naive to that fact, I guess.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think the awareness, the buzz that kind of gets created on social media and stuff like that, it's like you'll definitely see things pop up once a little
Once
excitement is
once
kind of
you
created about it.
once you put it out there, right?
Yeah.
One time you reposted a comment that you had on your YouTube. It was a while back, you posted on your Instagram about a guy, claiming that you will plant stuff in your finds on the flea markets, or that people would save stuff for you and all
Mm,
that. Like, like, I don't know. I feel like people can be entitled to say or comment or believe whatever they want, right? But
mhm.
I do believe, though, that influence, it's said in a way, like, do you feel, I don't know, this is going to be a little bit more like aggressive question, but do you feel responsible of the stuff that you put out there? And I promise you, is not to make any type of drama or anything like that, but like, definitely there's you know an influence that you have, because and I've seen it firsthand. First of all, because you influenced me a lot. Like, I'm from there, starting from like from personal experience. But I've heard people say like, "Oh yeah, because I saw it, Anthony or Froggy Flips." I said, like, there's influences there. Do you feel any type of responsibility, or just do it for you, or just what's anything behind it?
Um, I'm aware of it. Like, I mean, I just all I do is what I like to do, and
Mm,
I mean, I can't tone it back to not create an influence.
mm.
I'm excited by certain things. I make videos about that excitement, and I mean, like, I
Hey.
don't know why it's influential. I appreciate the fact that it is, I guess.
Mhm.
I appreciate the fact that people enjoy things. Yeah, I mean, I guess I can't feel bad about it.
Don't feel bad. I think
Uh,
I think a lot of good things happens when you put it out there. And honestly, uh, I do think, I'm not sure if I speak for everybody, but I kind of like, I've been trying to see like, why is it feels like almost like in our world, even like talking about, our world is a small world, the collector world, especially the vintage, is a small world, like compared to other hobbies or
mhm,
other collections and stuff like that. But
sure.
I sure have to call it like some type of phenomenon, because it wasn't you grew exponentially, on a small period of time. At some point, like you were, at some point, certain amount of subscriber, but over a year or something like that is where like everything exploded. That's how I see it. I don't know if that's true or not, but the one thing that I felt like, it's because you're so I don't know, kind of like raw
Mm,
on how you say and do things. And not that it's bad to ask for a little bit of a discount or anything like that, but it seems like most times, like, all right, you don't debate too much price. I don't know if all the prices they give you are like extremely, I don't know what's happening, but I see you like, you do a lot of the interactions like supernatural. And when you put stuff out for selling, god damn, that's a good deal. Like, that's a good price. Like, and I promise you, he didn't pay me to say this, but everything that you put out for sale, like, sells quick. This is a good price, and then you buy and you sell like a really fair price. I think all that with the natural way that you do it, and also the way that how raw you are. I think that's why people like to follow. That's what I think. Anyways, let's move on. Where let's move on to kind of like to the final trade that we did, right? So you mentioned that getting the Dino Saucers, the one that I traded you, the glass light.
mhm.
It made you like, said that it greased out, to for you to make a decision, because this one this time you reached out to me
Hmm.
saying that you were ready to let go of the Dino Saucers. What was the train of thought on that?
I think I think when I got them, because basically I had mentioned that because I found some bootleg Dino Saucers at a toy show, and I just kind of casually said I would love to find a real one day, and I mean that was the truth. I was like I probably won't because they're expensive, but I would love to. Um, and then the next day I get the message from Lars about this collection of prototypes, um, and kind of thought about it for days and days, and I just really wanted to be a link in that chain.
Hmm.
Like it's really cool that these exist. There's not a lot of these out there. What is it, like 3 or 4 sets of them, and
Sets,
probably
yeah.
all of them aren't even whole anymore. But like I just thought it was a really cool piece of toy history. I wanted to be a part of it, but I'm not a Dino Saucers collector. It's just something I wanted to be involved in for. I didn't know if that was going to be a month or if that was going to be 10 years, but I knew eventually they would go somewhere else.
Hmm.
Um, you were the first person that I told about them, and you wanted for like you made me promise that if they ever went anywhere, that I ask you first. So as soon as I kind of made that decision, you were the first person I texted.
And I mean, honestly, it doesn't surprise me because what I just told you, you're a very raw person. You're very true to your word and all that. But when you showed me that, first of all, I don't know why you showed me first because I probably you probably saw that I collect dinosaurs. I like the show. I watched it when I was a kid. Now I know it wasn't a big hit here in the U.S., but definitely was on Latin America where I grew up, right? So I grew up in Mexico. So I knew I wanted those, but it's also one of those things whenever I was trying to get the muscle mods, the stray cats, I was like, I want them. Yeah. What are the chances for me to
Right,
get
right.
those, right? Like, and then I got the cats, and then when you mentioned me, like, I don't know if anybody has asked you this, but if you ever want to let them go, just let me know. Honestly, I was so hyped about the pictures that you sent me when you got them. I was like, should I make him an offer right now? But I'm like, no. I'm like, stop, Ulysses, stop. Do not harass this man. Like let him enjoy it. I was like, congratulations, man. But kind of like, I was texting, but if you would have heard me, my voice was cracking like, congratulations. But I'm so happy for you. But I'm like, man, I wish, if you ever, and that's why, like, all I can ask is if you ever want to let him go, please, please, please let me know first. And I was scared because you can say whatever you want, but when somebody throws some money at you or somebody throws a big offer, I'm like, yeah, I said that I will offer them to you, but this guy.
Right. Yeah.
So, have anybody did anybody throw offers at you? What was the deal with that? Is there any, was because I knew for a fact, like, at least two people that I knew contacted you. Like, I knew
Hmm.
for a fact. So what was the dealing with that?
I don't. I mean, like I got people that would message trying to feel me out on price, but it's one of those things like, what's it worth? I don't know. And um, like there were some money offers, but I don't know the people, so I don't know if they were real offers. Like I know you well enough. If you just like threw a price at me, I would know that you're actually offering that price, and that deal would
Mhm.
go through. I mean, random strangers, I don't know if it's legit or not. So like I can't say that they were real offers, but
Got you, got you. Yeah, a friend of mine, and this is another thing that it hurt me because once you told me to that you wanted to let go, and before I threw or before we even made a deal, I knew that one of my closest friends wanted him,
mhm.
and he made a video about it. A lot of people know him, and it's a big shout out to my brother. I love you so much, Raúl El Pelón. He has a YouTube channel in Spanish. He even made a video about it, and he told me, "Hey, man, you talk to him. Can you send him the video? When I watch the video, I'm like, oh man, yeah, I'll send it to him. And I'm like, but man, like I'm in live, brother. Like I'm like I don't know, how do you do that? I don't know. It was hard for me knowing that a really really close friend of mine also wanted him. Anyways, that's a
Mhm.
different, that's another story. But uh when you did offer, we have to come up with something more serious about it. Like we have to either price them or either put a value so we
Mhm.
can kind of know. And I don't know. I just threw it out there. Hey, do you want some muscle mods prototypes? Is that what you were looking for? Or you were looking for cash, honestly, like what was going in through your mind when you offered that trade?
I really didn't know. I like. I think I wanted muscle mutt prototypes.
Hmm.
I didn't know if you would be down for that. Um, um, like obviously, I didn't really have legit cash value in my head, just like you
Hmm.
probably wouldn't either. I mean, we kind of talked about some made up numbers, but I mean that's
Yeah, yeah,
just
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
that's just like us like trying to make it make sense, I guess. Um, but I think in the back of my head, I was thinking about the prototypes, like the muscle nut prototypes, because I mean, one priceless set of prototypes could really only be traded for another priceless set of prototypes unless you're going to have an auction. I mean, an auction is
Yes.
the only way to really do it.
Yeah, exactly right. Ah, honestly, I like when you mentioned that you're willing to let go. I'm like, my first question was like, do you want? I'm scared, 'cause if you want cash, man, well, I will have to sell a lot of stuff in my collection to cover that up. But if you're willing to trade, I'll like. And honestly, that was my first idea. Like, there's no other stuff. Like, I mean, there was other stuff that could have made it as well, but that one I kind of like didn't want to let go.
Hmm.
But I wanted to do the prototypes. I feel like the prototypes and the other stuff that I can I say, you mentioned the cats, right,
Hmm.
for muscle months. I feel uh, like you always said, I'm not a prototype guy. I also say I'm not a prototype guy, but we ended up doing one of the biggest trades in prototypes. So I'll like, as long as I keep one of the prototypes with me, and especially the one with, kind of like my favorite character, which is Sugar Tooth.
Hmm.
I'm like, for that type of stuff, I will let go of the muscle nuts. And a friend of ours, I think you know him. He told me like, "Oh man, do you have any prototypes available?" Like, "Nah, man, I just trade a few with Anthony." Like, "Oh, I wish I would have talked to you 2 weeks ago." I'm like, even if you did, man, it was not like they were for sale or anything like that.
Right.
Like I wouldn't have sold it if you reached out to me 2 weeks before. Like it had to be only a trade, this type of trade,
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, that was a very interesting stuff. Is there any regrets on trades that you do, or this particular one, or anything, any of that?
No, it was the shipping was scary, but but once I had the stuff and I knew that you were happy and that everything got to you okay, it's just there's not been one bit of regret or thinking that I should have held on to those or anything like at least on my end. I mean,
Yeah. No, I'm static. I'm pretty happy. Yeah, well, you mentioned the shipping, and I completely forgot about that part.
when your UPS guy threw it on your porch.
Well, that was for once, but oh my god! Even before that, I was like, "How do we do this?" Because when I got those prototypes,
Oh yeah, because you were gonna drive. You were gonna
I wanted to. I 100% consider the option of driving. And I was like, honestly, I was already making plans. What time will I leave? She'll be there by that time. Like, oh man, I don't want to ship this. When I got this, the cats and my prototypes and all that first time, the guy who sold me the big lot of muscle mods, he flew in. he brought me the stuff.
Mm.
Personally, he didn't want to risk it, and that kind of put a like he like a high, you know, like the bar so high as far as shipping this type of stuff. And I was willing to drive. I'm like, ah, man, I was so busy. I would have loved to, you know, had driven over there, but I just couldn't. And I was like, all right, well, just let's
Pray.
just give the blessings to this. And then we were debating, like, all right, so I don't like USPS over there, like you mentioned. And I was like, no, but I don't like UPS here because I don't know, for some reason I here UPS for me, you know, it brings stuff like super, you know, safe and everything.
Hmm.
But the UPS, and I mentioned it to you before. What did they do? Like, just we put like crazy insurances on the shipment, and the guy went and just came and I threw it like,
It's
oh my god, it just hurt.
crazy.
How do you control that, man? You can put a insurance on it, but if you like, I don't want the money of the insurance.
Yeah. I mean, you having the video was good, I guess, but yeah.
But I don't want the money. I don't want the
Right.
insurance. I want my
Exactly.
stuff. Like,
I
there's
mean,
not gonna be
you couldn't buy another set, so it doesn't really matter.
exactly. Oh man, it's crazy. It's crazy the things that we do for this, you know, hobby. And now just going a little bit deeper on and now more personal on your stuff. Like, is there anybody that probably doesn't know their roles like in your family? Because it's funny when I bring family into the into the collection, like, you know, cousins or something like that, and like, oh yeah, he likes toys, you know, must be $1 or two.
Uh-huh.
Like, is there people in your family, in your life, that don't understand the collecting world that we're in?
Um, I think all the family that I'm close to, I think that they get it now, but I mean, it probably took a while. My my wife just went to her uncle's house the other day, who she hadn't seen for a couple years. He had no idea, so I mean, that was kind of cool that like like she got to kind of tell him the story and stuff. But as far as like people that I know and love and I see, they all get it now.
Yeah, I don't think my parents still get what I do, man.
Probably if I didn't make videos about it, I could never explain it. But I think there's just there's a history of
Or-
videos now that they've kind of followed along.
yeah. Why did you decided to start doing, you know, content? Is it was like just for the fun of it, or you really had a purpose of, you know, making this? I don't know if you live up with this or just kind of like feed out the collection. What was it? What was the purpose of start making content?
Just because I liked YouTube and just because I thought I probably couldn't do that, but it'd be fun to try. So then I just kind of tried, and you know, I enjoyed it. It was a slow burn, but then it finally kind of took off and just kind of became my life after that. But yeah, it was just kind of because I thought it might be fun.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I started it and I still doing it because one super odd reason. I have a super bad memory. Like, I honestly, I people ask me, what was your first figure that you bought? I'm like, I don't know. Just remember a lot. I bought a lot, and I don't remember, like, honestly. And then I kind of like start remembering, and then I like, you know what? I'm gonna open an Instagram account just to kind of,
Hmm.
you know, put up the stuff that is not related to my family or stuff. You know, just to kind of have the collection in there.
Sure.
And that's where I kind of like started getting like more the memories of it. And I've been collecting for 4 years, you know. That's for the Instagram. For the YouTube, it was more like having cool conversations with friends. Like, oh, that'll be cool to record this. Yeah, a lot of people give me advices on what to do for the algorithm. Like, I don't do it for views. I don't monetize. Me personally, at this point, I don't. I really like. I'm really intrigued about, you know, this conversation. I like to talk a lot, like I do, and I love, you know, picking my friends' brains for a little bit and just, you know, talking about
Yeah.
this stuff. Um, oh man, what is the everybody knows you for one specific line, I believe, right? So Mad Balls, you think about Mad Balls, you think about Froggy, you think about Froggy, you think about Mad Balls. So, and everything related to it, right? So it's
Hmm.
fun when you put out stuff like GI Joes or other stuff? Like,
Hmm.
is there a line, like not a line as far as a toy line, but is it a line that you follow when you collect, or like? Because honestly, I feel like GI Joe with your stuff, like it's pretty cool what you do, but like,
Yeah.
how do you pick your lines?
Um, I just well anymore like I was kind of doing the GI Joe thing, and I just wanted like the early like straight arms guys, and that's it. So there's like 16, 17 um, in that collection. So I mean that was kind of easy. I knocked most of that out pretty fast because they're at every toy show that you go to. But like the way I'm trying to do things now is just I'm not going for lines. I'm not going for anything specific. I want something to make me uh I don't know, I just want something that jumps out at me. So
Gotcha.
that could be a Silverhawks, or that could be like an LJ in a wrestling figure. Like I just want to be open to the moment, like stumbling upon something and like I like that, and I don't care if I get any more of these, but I like this one. So it's kind of how I'm trying to collect now.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'll call it a click.
mhm.
Once you click with it, it may not make sense to a lot of people, and a lot of people try it, or I've seen. Again, I don't have the following that you have, but the very few that I got, they try to kind of like, oh, you like this? I'm like, no, I don't like that. Or they think they know what you want or what you like, and like how you should collect and stuff like that. I'm like, no, or you like this only because I don't know the audacity of people. Um, but anyways, one more thing I wanted to ask you.
Uh-huh.
Uh, you posted this recently as well on your Instagram, and you mentioned it was, obviously super way off, but some person offered you a collaboration on tires or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Uh, what do you think about doing collaborations? I've seen so many YouTubers, influencers, call it what you want, you know, give up what they really like just to kind of like make profit or money out
You mean
there.
like sponsorships and stuff? Like
Sponsorships, yeah, or stuff. What if I got, or have you had any like newer toys? Hey, here, advertise this or something like that.
oh yeah, I have. So so I've done a few in the past, or two. It's been a couple years. There actually might be one coming now, but it's very specific and audience positive. It's
Mhm.
because I had a conversation with a company over like the course of a year and a half, and I was basically just like, I don't want to sell stuff on YouTube for another
Mhm.
company if I don't believe in that product. And
Sure. Yeah.
um, it's probably like, I don't know. I mean, like I don't care if someone does. Like I'll still watch a video if they're trying to sell something that I don't care about. But I just try not to do it. So I turn.
Like for example, if M- Kenner. I don't know if Kenner still exists, or Mattel. Does
I
they?
think the
Do they?
name Kenner exists.
But
Like
any
Hasbro.
one of the old companies, but with newer product, will reach
Hmm.
out to you. Would you do any collaborations with them, or you stick
Like a
to the basics?
Playmates or something like that. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, maybe, but maybe not, because I'm not talking about new toys. I don't have a passion about new toys. So I don't know if I would, unless it just made. I don't know. I guess I'd have to hear the proposal. Like I couldn't just
gotcha.
say yes or no.
Ah,
But
that's interesting. That's interesting. All right, that's cool. It leaves it
yeah.
open for options. Yeah. Um, Talk to us a little bit about the, and we're all on the last 10 minutes of this conversation, but I also wanted to give you the opportunity to talk a little bit about the toy show that you put up, you
Mhm.
and team. Great show. This is not a paid advertisement or anything like that. I went there myself to check it out, and it was a great toy show. I had a blast. I spent probably way too much money on that show. Me and my friends. But talk to us a little bit about behind the idea.
So I mean, like basically, it's a lot like what I was just saying. Like I don't have a passion for the newer stuff, which I'm always like I try to be very clear. Like that doesn't mean anything. That's just my taste. What I love. I love vintage toys. My friend Tim felt the exact same way. Um, so we just kind of wanted to create a toy show that would be like our ultimate toy show. Because any toy show that you walk into, there's going to be a table of Funko Pops. There's going to be a cool table of like amazing old school vintage stuff. There's going to be a table of Marvel Legends from like the early 2000s. So there's going to be all this stuff. But like, what if the entire toy show was this stuff? That would be crazy. Could that even happen? Would people come to that? Like, is there a market? So it was just we kind of did this proof of concept,
Mhm.
and it worked. Apparently, there's a lot of people that feel the exact same way.
It did, man. It did. Honestly, I was super excited about this show, as many people did, and I don't know what would have happened if there was not a blizzard on that day, because it was
Hmm.
crazy. From Texas, I've never seen that many snow on my life, like for real, like ever. I was scared, to
Well, because it was
death.
ice too. That was the real bad ice and wind.
We've had snow here in Texas like once or twice, like since I ever remember, and it was like this little tiny bitty of snow, right? So I think that's the most snow that I've seen in my life. And I was like, I ain't missing it, and I'm gonna go there early.
Hmm.
And a lot of people did too. Like, do you think it was what would you consider this last show? I honestly I thought it was a great show, but I have my reasons. Let me hear yours, and then I'll tell you why I feel like mine for me was.
Why?
Do, do you think it was a good show? It was a success show, or
Oh, I think
what could
so.
it, what could it,
I mean, my barometer, I guess. There's a couple. Like, first of all, you kind of feel a vibe. Like
Mhm.
you kind of hear people talking in the background. You kind of see like how vendors are interacting with people and stuff. You see people walking out with stuff and not just leaving empty-handed. So the vibe felt good for sure.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah,
but then the other barometer is when you announce the next one, are the vendors coming back?
got
Because
you,
because I mean, if vendors say I don't think I want to do this anymore, then
because it didn't make sense
right. But
economically.
but pretty much everyone says yep, 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 like right away, like they'll be back. So
Cool.
so that was pretty much, and like the ones that can't be back, or there's a reason. It's not just
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
I don't want to do that. It's like, oh, I'll be in California that weekend or something. So for
Yeah.
those two reasons, especially, I think it was a great show.
To me, I think it was a great show for, yes, the vibe. It was a pretty cool vibe. The stuff that I was looking for aligned, and this is here. I'm gonna say, of course, I'm influenced by your style, so it's pretty cool because I think the show is also influenced by your style, even though it's vintage and all that. It's like, I don't know. There's one percentage of like, I'm going to Froggy Studio, so I was expecting to look to find some horror, some my pet, some Marvel, some that type of stuff, right? So that's what I was looking for. So I was super thrilled about it. And honestly, my other reason is probably a bad reason for you, and it was the blizzard. I think that scared a lot of people away and
Oh yeah.
left me with more to choose from.
Hmm.
But that's from my side. I don't want to. I didn't want it to happen. I probably you didn't want it to happen, but I don't know. I feel like we had a lot more to choose from. But
Yeah, and like, I mean, I feel like the snowstorm kind of kept things manageable because like you said, if it hadn't been like that, it might have gotten a little too crazy, and I don't know if we were prepared for that. So
um,
so we kind of learned some things because I mean, like there's always stuff that's gonna pop off, like because basically it's just me and Tim, and then we have a couple volunteers like taking money at the door and stuff like that. But we kind of realized that going forward, we probably need a bigger team as far as just keeping things tight. And so
Got you, got you. You feel like somehow, some way, you underestimated it, maybe the audience
maybe
response or something.
yeah. And so for that reason, I do think that the snowstorm kind of helped a little bit.
Oh. But who's your Collecticon 3 is coming up?
September 14th. Yeah.
Yeah. What can you tell us about it? I see it's going to be more tables, more buildings, less buildings, more like, well, is there anything that I know there's still a few things that you're going to change. You're going to let people in the day before. There's going to be stuff like that. Like anything,
Yeah.
any change?
Yeah. So we're going to do the two buildings again because I think that worked out well. If you
Mhm.
remember this last time, there was plenty of room to expand in building number two. So there's
Mhm.
going to be a lot more vendors over in that building. Yeah, there you go, right there.
I'll be one. I'll be one.
Um, we're going to have food trucks, which we tried to have this last time, but it obviously it got canceled. So that'll be available. We're going to do the day before, like the super, not like VIP, but like you pay a price and which
Mhm.
happens at a lot of toy shows. It's
Yeah.
you know, you pay some silly amount of money to get in the day before, and it's great for like the people that are looking for like the crazy expensive, hard to find stuff.
Gotcha.
Those are the kind of people that want to come in the night before, but
Gotcha.
it's
But and that's going to be
shortened
for
hours.
yeah, I was going to say for sure hours, right? So like two,
Mhm.
3 hours, 3 hours, something like that.
Yeah, something like
That's
that.
cool. I think that's a pretty cool idea. I like the shows where you focus only on vendors. I personally, and don't hate me for it, but I personally don't like celebrities in the shows. Or
Mm.
if you want to cosplay and go around it, with your cosplay, that's pretty cool. But I like so take time from the toy show to do a cosplay contest or stuff like whatever it takes away from the toys for me. Like I'm cool. I think I'm paying too much for something. I just want to buy toys, right?
Yeah.
So whenever it's a toy show like this, I like it a lot. I'll be there. I cannot go to every toy show. I wish I could go to the Chicago Toy Show, to
Hmm.
the Great Ohio, all of those shows. But unfortunately, I usually do it when it's my high season of work, and I cannot. And fortunately enough, both of the second who's here and the third one, I don't have anything to do, so I'll be there.
Nice.
So no, but great show. You cannot miss it if you're around or from
If
anywhere
you
around
like
the
the
world.
vintage,
You like the vintage, make sure you stop by. All right, man. Hey, our time is it's just coming to an end. I just wanted to say that I really appreciate your time, Anthony. I know you're a busy guy, and thank you for your time. Anything you want to add on to it? Anything that we might have missed about the trays or anything like that?
uh no, no, I don't think so. I mean,
Maybe show it. Maybe show
oh
that
yeah,
your favorite. You show your favorite piece.
my favorite one's, I don't know why, but probably this one. Like even though he has no
Uh,
teeth, I
yeah,
just
yeah,
I just
yeah.
just really like that one for some reason.
Yeah. It- I love it. I love
But
it.
I mean, like with teeth, it's awesome too. Of course, you can't deny that.
Can't go wrong with that, right?
But like just like the big black dog, I like that one.
The Doberman, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, my favorite, honestly, it's this. Is this one?
Oh
This is
yeah.
my favorite chip. It was also from my favorite character. Uh, it was a funny guy, It was one of the bad guys. It was, I don't know. It was just funny.
Hmm.
But the way that the details on the ship based on the character,
Hmm.
oh my god, I just love this one. I wish they
And the
would have.
paint's awesome, isn't it?
It really looks like a final product. It looks
Hmm.
like like it's one of the real toys.
Yeah.
But anyways, oh man. Well, thank you again, Anthony, for being here with me, for spending the time with us. Um, to everybody else, thank you for joining in. Thank you guys for watching. We're doing live We apologize for not reading the messages. Just wanted to take as much time as as much information from Anthony that as I could. We're probably gonna have to fix that. I was thinking on put it on Instagram, like ask a question, pick one, because I also have a lot of questions, but it's impossible to read all the comments. I promise I'll try to go through them. I'll reply a few. Thank you everybody for watching, and stay awesome. What was the ending of the show? Love y'all.
Love ya.
Peace.
Bye.
There you go. All right. Thank you,
All right,
everybody.
man.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Have a good one, guys. Bye bye.